Space Fliers of the Alpha Corps. Captain, echoed in panic. The energy shield of our ship has collapsed. Energy jets are hitting us directly. Where's the answer? Where's the salvation? Feverishly ran through his mind. Alpha Rift, inverse phase shift wormhole. Captain, Captain, Captain. Space date? Zenith 22-2112-758, Planetary Station. The place was extremely busy. The Cosmodrome was a real beehive. Spaceships of various configurations were landing and taking off non-stop. In that commotion, two figures in uniforms stood out, having casual conversations so different from those they had just 2 days ago. "Wow, what a ride," said Gordan mockingly. "Well, it was about time we fell from a horse to a donkey, though this one looks more like a turtle." "Be grateful even for this much," said Ralde, half seriously, half jokingly. "You know everyone's needed on the border, and there are enemies like stray dogs." "How can I not complain?" muttered Gordan. "Only 5 days of leave. By the time we get home and come back, especially in this passenger turtle, what's left of it?" "Take what you can get," said Ralde leniently. "And now, mighty warrior, board this beautiful vessel," he added with a smile. In front of them stood an old, worn-out passenger craft. It really did, in a way, resemble a turtle. "Hey, don't push," hissed a man in a suit that simply screamed, "I am rich and don't belong here, but in a 5-star luxury hotel." "Chill out, man," said Gordan casually. "Don't tell me to chill, flyboy," snapped the man. "I have money and influence to buy you 1,000 times over." "Not for sale," laughed Ralde. "Believe me, you wouldn't profit from him." "I don't care," said the man. "I just want to get out of here as soon as possible." At that moment, a small android with the marking JB-75 almost collided with Gordan. "Hey, little one, watch where you're rolling," he barked. The android extended a scanning camera, and at the same time, data began popping up on its monitor, which just moments ago displayed eyes. The data showed everything about Gordan. Hey, little spy," said Gordan irritably. "What's that supposed to mean?" To his surprise, the android replied, "New protocol. Everyone must be scanned and their identity confirmed." "Okay, do your job then." After a few seconds, the screen turned green and a voice said, "Everything is okay. Proceed." "I'd really like to know what this little can could do if everything wasn't okay," said Gordan mockingly. "I heard about that new protocol. Believe me, you'd be surprised." At that moment, they heard, "Identity not confirmed. Remain in place and wait for patrol." A huge man, to whom this referred, swung his leg to kick the small, irritating robot. In that instant, the sound of an alarm rang out, and the android's small body began to grow, ejecting various components from openings on its surface. In a second, it was nearly a meter tall and about 2 meters long. On its front side, it had a neutralizer combining a shocker and disintegrator. This won't be pretty," said Ralde, and he was right. The brute first received an electric shock, then a neutralizer blast. As he drooled on the floor, passengers fearfully started walking faster away from the scene, some almost running. "Told you," said Ralde. "You did," replied Gordan, now with newfound respect for the little android. They continued toward the ship's entrance. A young and an older woman in stewardess uniform stood at the entrance, greeting passengers. "Well, at least someone's greeting us properly," whispered Gordan. "And here comes our grumpy gentleman. What luck to be traveling together." In the pilot cockpit, 2 pilots were loudly arguing. "I'm telling you, all this seems suspicious," said the pilot, whose uniform read Co-Pilot Dade, nervously. "Man, your paranoia is bigger than a black hole," replied the other pilot, Pilot Milky, tiredly. "Drop it. I'm telling you it's suspicious that we're traveling through Sector Beta 12-899. That's almost in enemy territory." "If command says it's safe, then it's safe," said Milky confidently. "We'll see," said Dade, giving up on the argument. "Gordan, here are our seats," said Ralde, pointing. "No way," came a familiar voice. The gentleman they had the pleasure of meeting earlier had the seat right next to them. "Hey, wait, let's get to know each other better. You might even like us," said Gordan. "I highly doubt it," said the man irritably. "By the way, when you address me in the future, do so with utmost respect and humility, calling me Sir Olaf Zontix, Space Unios III. "I'll give him Sir with respect," murmured Gordan. "Calm down," replied Ralde. "Relax and think of something nice." "Yes, like this rich guy being sucked into a black hole," answered Gordan with a wide grin. "Dear passengers, we are taking off," came a pleasant female voice. "Please take your seats and fasten your belts." In the cockpit, the pilot and co-pilot prepared the ship for takeoff. Computer check. Checked. Artificial gravity check. Checked. Communication check. Checked. The main systems are checked. Run to the engine room and remind those idiots that this time I don't want engines that cough during takeoff. Go check yourself. I'm not your servant, and you always rub people's noses with things that have nothing to do with flying. Oh, really? Who's the captain here? You're captain because you're a bootlicker. Whatever they tell you, your answer is always, yes, sir. Even if they sent you to the end of the universe, you just say, understood. That's enough. We're taking off. What about the other checks? To hell with them. Let's see who's the yes, sir now. Their eyes shot lightning. The captain pressed the start button, and the engines roared. So we're off, said Gordan. I'll take a nap. Wake me before the hyperspace jump. I don't want to sleep through that. Yeah, your stomach isn't ready for a hyperspace jump while sleeping? Said Ralde with a smile, remembering unpleasant scenes. The journey began. After several hours, most passengers were dozing. Dear passengers, we are approaching the hyperspace jump point. Please return to your seats and activate the electro shield option, said the stewardess kindly. Hey, wake up. Your favorite part of the flight's starting, said Ralde, shaking Gordan. Okay, Mom. 5 more minutes. Very funny. Wake up. Passengers and crew, we are preparing for hyperspace jump. Please remain seated, said the co-pilot's voice. There, it's done. Hit it, Captain. One day you'll fly yourself? Just wait, muttered the captain, and said aloud, engaging hyperdrive, pressing the button. At that moment, an unpleasant sound came from the engine room. It sounded like howling and squealing at once. What the hell is this? Shouted the captain angrily, running to the engine room. Can't you incompetents prepare the ship's engines even for one lousy hyperspace jump? Captain, said the chief engineer excitedly, we found silicon quartz in the hyperdrive. It's sabotage. We can't make the jump. The captain turned pale. Maybe I really am not paranoid enough. Running back to the cockpit, he said, looks like we've got sabotage in the engine room. Told you, hissed the co-pilot. This was suspicious from the start. Don't rub it in. Call command and report our status. The co-pilot activated the communicator, but nothing could be heard. Several attacking ships appeared on the radar. Great, we've got pirates on our tail jamming our communications, said the co-pilot in panic. Shields to maximum, roared the captain. At the first impact of an energy beam, the shields held, but it didn't stop the ship from shaking violently. In the passenger area, chaos broke out. I'm rich, I'm powerful, I can't die in this forsaken part of the galaxy, screamed Mr. Olaf. Gordan slapped him with great satisfaction. What? How dare you? Whimpered Mr. Olaf. A slap is the best cure for panic, said Gordan confidently. Listen, everyone, shouted Ralde. Stop panicking because nothing good comes of it. Otherwise, my colleague here will go around giving the same medicine you just saw Mr. Olaf receive. The entire cabin went silent. Let's go to the cockpit and see what we can do, said Ralde, and the two headed there. The door was open, and panicked voices could be heard. Great, no security whatsoever, said Ralde resignedly. Maybe we should use the same trick we used on the passengers, joked Gordan. Captain, shouted Ralde to overpower the noise. Calm down and give us the situation report. Who are you, and how dare you be here giving orders? Asked the nervous captain, to which Ralde showed his ID. Okay, I get it. Situation, pirates are hitting us, and the hyperdrive and communications are down. Good, short and clear. What about communications? They're being jammed by those space pirates, said the captain. Command only gets static when we turn on the transmitter. Static? I think that will be more than enough, said Ralde thoughtfully. Leave communications to us. What are these two troublemakers planning now? Thought the captain. After just 15 minutes, Allied ships appeared on the radar and drove off the pirates, who were hastily retreating. So, said Gordan mockingly, what's the situation with the shields and the ship? The shields, surprisingly, held, so the ship didn't take a direct hit. But I've got to ask, whatever happens, what did you do? How did you tell command our situation? Well, you see, explained Ralde, command couldn't receive our message, but they heard static whenever the communication device was turned on and off. There's an old data transmission system that was once very popular called Morse code. It consisted of dots and dashes, each combination describing a letter or number. Every command station knows it and can recognize it in any form. And as you can see, I said the static would be more than enough. Man, good to know this, said the captain thoughtfully. From now on, I'm learning those ancient tricks. They can really come in handy. Just then, the co-pilot approached and said, of course, "What did I say? What did I say again? Nobody listens, and I'm always right." "All right, we'll leave you in peace," said Ralde. "The ships will tow us to the nearest station for repairs. It'll take a while." "So much for our vacation," said Gordan resignedly. Returning to the cabin, the passengers, who had by then learned from the stewardesses what happened and who to thank for surviving, began clapping. Thank you," replied Gordan. "We accept all praise, and some coins wouldn't hurt either." "He's kidding," said Ralde quickly, then turned to Gordan. "You know what the penalty is for charging for our job. I'm just joking, though it wouldn't be bad." He stopped when he saw Ralde rolling his eyes, then burst out laughing. Mr. Olaf approached them. "Okay, maybe you were right. We might become good friends." "Wouldn't count on it," smiled Gordan. "No matter. Since we made it out alive, I'm buying everyone the most expensive drink," said Mr. Olaf. "Maybe we really will become good friends," replied Gordan, and everyone laughed heartily. End of log for space date Zenith 22 2017.